Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. 420 is way more than just a date on the calendar now, right? It's a full-blown cultural moment, and in 2026, it is set to be bigger than ever. So buckle up, because we are about to take you on a tour across the country, looking at the entire 420 event season, from these massive festivals to the most exclusive private parties. So get this, 2026 isn't just any 420. The 20th itself lands on a Monday, which basically creates a 4-day high weekend. And that changes everything. So how exactly are cities and all these businesses getting ready for what's going to be a massive travel event? Let's dive in.
All right, here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll break down this whole high weekend idea. Then we're heading straight to Denver, which is pretty much the undisputed capital of 420. After that, we'll look at a tale of two coasts, San Francisco and D.C., and see how different their scenes are. We'll give you a super practical travel playbook, and then we'll wrap up by looking at the bigger picture. What happens when counterculture becomes big business?
Okay, so this high weekend thing, it's more than just a cool name. We're talking about a full-blown economic engine. Cities are seriously bracing for a huge wave of tourists, and that means a whole new level of planning for, everything from traffic to public safety. This is 420 playing in the big leagues.
The 420 experience isn't one-size-fits-all anymore. We're seeing this really fascinating split in the market. On one hand, you've got these huge, almost Coachella-style festivals. But on the other hand, there's this more exclusive kind of boutique vibe emerging with these drop parties. Think of them like a sneaker drop, but for new cannabis products. It's a whole new world out there.
So if you're looking for the biggest, most epic 420 celebration, where do you go? Well, pretty much all roads lead to Denver. It's the undisputed 420 capital of the world. Seriously, the city has absolutely perfected the mega festival model, and they've woven it right into the fabric of the city itself.
And the crown jewel of Denver's celebration is the mile-high 420 festival. But don't let that party vibe fool you. This thing is run like a well-oiled machine. We're talking mandatory tickets, strict 21+ age limits, even a no-bag policy. And here's the real kicker. Even here, at the absolute epicenter of 420, public consumption is still illegal.
So if you want to do it upright at this super professional event, what's the premium experience going to cost you? $175, plus fees, of course. For that kind of money, you're expecting a little more than just getting through the gates, right?
And this is exactly where you see 420 meeting that mainstream festival experience. For $25, you get in, you see the bands, you get the basics. But for $175, now you're in the VIP lane. We're talking quick entry, private bars, nice bathrooms, maybe even some celebrity meet and greets. This is 420, packaged and sold to the masses. But here's the thing you gotta understand about Denver. 420 isn't just one festival in a park, it's a citywide celebration. The holiday has become a key driver for tourism, and it's plugged into every single corner of the entertainment scene. This is what it looks like when a city goes all in on the economic power of cannabis.
I mean, just picture this itinerary. You spend the day at the festival, then you go catch a legendary act like Ice Cube at Red Rocks, or maybe you go see a ball game at Coors Field. And then, when you're ready, you can head over to a fully licensed consumption lounge for a totally safe and social experience. That's the 420 dream, and in Denver, it's pretty much a reality.
But Denver isn't the only game in town, not by a long shot. Over on the coasts, you've got San Francisco and D.C. carving out their own really unique identities. So get ready for a tale of two very different cities, because the high weekend looks completely different depending on which coast you're on.
Over in San Francisco, the scene has done a complete 180. The iconic, kind of chaotic gathering at Hippie Hill, that's a thing of the past, sadly a casualty of city budget cuts. In its place, something new and way more sophisticated has popped up, SF Spacewalk. It's less of a single huge party and more of a 420 crawl, with a whole week of curated events that are really more about discovering brands than just mass consumption.
So this is what the future of 420 looks like in San Francisco. It's intimate, it's exclusive, and it's all about the brands. The city's cannabis lounges have become the new hotspots, hosting these drop parties where you can get a first look at the newest products. It's a completely different way to experience the holiday, and it's a model built around creating serious brand loyalty.
Okay, so now let's hop all the way over to the East Coast. In Washington, D.C., the National Cannabis Festival is a whole different beast. It's got the high-energy festival vibe like Denver, for sure, but it's mixed with this powerful focus on advocacy and education. You could say this is 420 with the political edge.
And in DC, the experience is all about access. For a cool $525, you can get the full VIP treatment. We're talking an all-inclusive pass, access to exclusive after-parties, and a chance to network with some of the biggest names in the industry. This is definitely 420 for the power players.
But, and this is a huge but, before you book your trip to D.C., you have got to understand the legal situation. It's tricky. The city operates on a gifting system, not a normal commercial market, and public consumption is a major no-no. But the real danger? You make one wrong turn and end up on federal land, like the National Mall, and suddenly possession is a federal crime. It's a high-stakes game, and you absolutely need to know the rules. So with all these different rules and different vibes, if you're planning a trip for the 2026 high weekend, you're going to need a solid playbook. And honestly, navigating all these laws can be a headache, which is why resources from our sponsor, marijuana.school, are so valuable for staying educated and, most importantly, staying safe on your travels. First things first, you got to know your limits. In states like Colorado, it's not as simple as just buying 1 ounce. They use something called an equivalency system. It basically means you can mix and match different product types, flour, edibles, concentrates, but you can't go over the total daily limit. Think of it like a cannabis cocktail. You can have a little of this, a little of that, but you can't have it all. As you can see, this table breaks it all down, so you can stay on the right side of the law.
Now, what about flying with cannabis? My advice? Just don't. Look, the TSA's main job isn't to look for your stash, but if they find it, they're going to call local law enforcement and you're going to have a really bad day. The bottom line is simple. Crossing state lines with cannabis is still a federal crime, period. No exceptions. It doesn't matter if you're flying from one legal state to another. Is it worth the risk? That's up to you, but I wouldn't.
And one last really practical tip for your playbook. This number? That's the range of cleaning fees you could be looking at if you violate a hotel's no smoking or no vaping policy. It is a very expensive mistake to make, which is why a whole industry of travel services has popped up to help you find cannabis-friendly spots with balconies or private patios.
So, let's just pull back for a second and put all the pieces together. What does this 2026 landscape really tell us? Well, we're witnessing, in real time, the total absorption of a counterculture holiday into the mainstream American commercial and tourism machine. And this quote right here, I mean, it really just says it all, doesn't it? The fact that we're even talking about VIP packages in Major League Baseball games and citywide logistics proves that 420 has made the jump. It's an economic engine now, plain and simple, and cities are absolutely treating it like one.
So, that brings us to the big million-dollar question. As 420 goes totally mainstream, what's the cost of admission? I mean, sure, we're gaining safety and organization and a ton of economic power. But are we losing some of the original soul of the movement along the way? That's a conversation that's really just getting started, and the whole future of 420 kinda hangs in the balance. Thanks for watching.